Hello friends and welcome. It's always exciting to try out some new makeup products which I hope will work especially well for those of us over 50 with mature skin. And today I'll be trying out a variety of products from a wide range of drugstore and high-end brands. Everything from foundation to eyeshadow to powder, lipstick, and gloss, with a few other products included along the way. And there are several products that I've already given a test run, and they came out with flying colors. So I'm particularly excited to share those products with you as well. A big thanks to all of you who continue to join me on Thursdays or who join me whenever your schedule permits. I really thank you. And a warm welcome to those of you who are new as well. My name is Elise, and as a professional working makeup artist who specializes in helping all of us over 50 look our best, I really love sharing tips, techniques, and products with you that work for us now. So if this focus sounds interesting, please join our family of subscribers by hitting that red subscribe button. And if you'd like to be notified each time a new video is available, please also hit that bell icon below as well. And I thank you so much in advance if you choose to do so. So let's go ahead and get going. I've already done my face prep, my eyebrows, and applied my eye primer. And since I'll be using a brand new powder eyeshadow, I'll be applying most of my eye products first, since there's almost always some fallout with powder eyeshadow. And then I'll go ahead and do my face makeup. The eyeshadow is from a drugstore brand, Almay, and I so love what they've done. Each eyeshadow palette contains eyeshadow colors that work especially well for a particular eye color. So there's a palette for brown eyes, a palette for green eyes, and a palette for hazel eyes. And although I don't have it with me, there's also a palette for blue eyes, and here's what it looks like. And you'll also notice that they've numbered each color by imprinting the number in the powder to show you where to place each color. So I'm going to come in close on this particular palette and see if you can see those numbers that are imprinted on it. On their website, they describe the design of these palettes as a paint-by-number system for our eyelid. They also have a visual on the back of each palette, which shows exactly where to place each numbered shadow. Let me show you the back of one of the palettes so you can see what I'm talking about. Now, you certainly don't have to place the colors where they recommend that you place them, but this can be a really helpful tool for many of us. And by the way, I should also mention that Almay products are fragrance-free, they're also hypoallergenic, and they come in paper packaging. Each of these palettes is $10.99 on the Almay site. Let me go ahead and swatch the eyeshadow colors in the two palettes I have, which I won't be using today, the one for green eyes and the one for hazel eyes. You can also see that the palettes themselves are color-coded, so this is obviously the one for green eyes. And here are the swatches from this palette. And here's the palette for hazel eyes. Notice the background color on the paper packaging. And here are the colors for hazel eyes. I'm sorry I don't have the palette for blue eyes so I can swatch those colors for you, but here's a closer look at the colors in that particular palette. So I'm going to go ahead and use the palette for brown eyes, and I'll apply the colors where they indicate on the packaging that they should be applied, except for number 5. Number 5 is a shimmer color, which according to the guidelines on the package should be placed under the arch of the brow. But since I really prefer to use a matte color in that area, I'm going to go ahead and use the base color, which is number 1 under the brow. But I just may use number 5 color as an inner corner highlight. We'll see. So the color designated as number 1 goes on the inner 1/3 of the eyelid, color number 2 goes in the middle of the eye, and number 3 goes on the outer corner as well as the crease. And it's suggested that number 4 be used as an eyeliner. So here are the colors I'll be using. Starting with the base color, which is number 1, and I'm just going to apply that all over my eyelid. And that looks like it might be a little dark for underneath my brow arch. So I'm probably going to go ahead and use my trusty Laura Geller vanilla color under the arch of my brow. And here's that Laura Geller color. As you can see, it's a lot lighter than. So as they suggested, I'm going to put this number 2 color in the middle of my eyelid. This is interesting. It's a little more golden than I thought it was. And then this deeper number 3 color goes on the outer part of the eyelid and the crease area, the outer part of the crease. These colors definitely have a warm undertone to them. Then I'm going to take my brush and go ahead and blend everything in. I'm going to go ahead and take that number 5 color that they suggested to put under the arch of the brow, and I'm going to put it on the inner corner of my eyes. I'm also going to put it just on the inner part of my eyelid a little bit. Putting on the base color, putting on this second color right in the middle of the eye, and the deeper color that they mentioned just on the outer part of the eyelid and then into the crease area. And then some blending. Then I'm going to take that number 5 color and put it on the inner corner as I did with the other eye. It really does brighten up this inner corner. Now I'm going to take this deepest color and use it for my eyeliner. Then I'm going to put it on the outer 1/3 and just bring it up slightly at the end and then press that in. Do the same on the other eye. Make sure I don't have any harsh starting and stopping points. And I want to clean up under my eye. It's not much fallout, just a little bit. Well, as you can see, that's definitely a very warm look for those browns. Next, I'm going to go ahead and apply top and bottom lash mascara off camera, and then I'll be right back with you. Now, on to face makeup. To provide a little bit of glow under my foundation, which is a matte foundation, I'm going to use Becca's Backlight Priming Filter. I have the travel size, which is 1/2 of a fluid ounce and costs $21. The regular size is 1 full ounce and costs $39. I'm only going to use it on one side of my face so we can see if it does indeed add some glow to that side of the face. So I've put a different primer on this side of the face. We'll see what the Becca Primer looks like on this side of the face. Let me swatch it for you first. I don't know how much you can tell, but it does definitely have some glow. All right, so I'm just going to put a little bit more in areas where I want a little bit more glow. And then do some blending here. So I definitely think you can see some glow going on here. I was so sad to learn that Becca will be going out of business in September because they make really some wonderful products, especially their cream to powder formula highlighters. I keep hoping that another company is going to buy them out. Next, I'm going to apply foundation. I'll be using Catrice's True Skin Hydrating Foundation in the shade 18, which is Cool Rose. And this product is one I couldn't wait to share with you because I'm really impressed with it. It comes in 20 shades and it's described as being long-wearing, vegan, with medium buildable coverage, which provides a natural skin-like finish. It's also described as an ultra-light texture, which melts into the skin and which is formulated with hyaluronic acid, I cannot say that word, and watermelon seed for intense hydration. I've already worn this foundation several times and I would absolutely agree that it's a light texture with a skin-like finish, and it definitely provides a medium buildable coverage. It's far more hydrating than their HD Liquid Coverage Foundation, which I tried in an earlier video, but I wouldn't call it intense hydration, at least not for my very dry skin. But with a good moisturizer under it, it works beautifully, and it's only $11. I'd say it's quite an amazing value. Let me go ahead and apply it. It comes in a pump bottle. I'm just putting some on the back of my hand, and then I'll use my brush to blend it in. Whoop. All right. I'm always amazed by how much foundation can really transform our look. Probably more than anything else. In fact, There is research to confirm that. Bring it down onto my neck area. I really do think it just melts into the skin, like that description says. I'm so impressed with this. And how can you go wrong with a foundation that costs $11 that performs like this? As you can see, it's definitely a buildable coverage. And this is for sure medium, if not even a little toward the heavier side of coverage, but that's probably because I applied a little bit too much. I could have gotten away with a lot less. Now, if you want a lighter coverage, you can certainly apply it with a sponge or sheer it out with a sponge. But let's take a look right now and see if we can tell a difference between the side of my face that has the Becca Backlight priming filter under this foundation and the side of my face without Becca's Backlight priming filter. This is the side of my face with the Becca product underneath the foundation, and this is the side of my face without the Becca product. I can definitely see a little bit more glow on this side. I don't know how much it's coming across on the camera. But as I look at the coverage of this foundation, I'm absolutely amazed. Almost don't need to use concealer. But I definitely am in need of a little color correcting concealer under my eyes. So I'm going to use e.l.f.'s Hydrating Camo Concealer in light peach under the eye area. And then I'm going to follow that by a touch of the same e.l.f. concealer in fair beige. A better color for me would probably be fair rose, but I'm going to go ahead and give this one a try. And by the way, the e.l.f. Camo Concealer costs $6. Since it's hard not to apply too much with this doe foot applicator, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit on a brush. And I'm just going to dot it on in the area under my eyes where I have the bluish purplish coloring to help color correct. And this light peach color cancels out that color. And I'm just going to press it in gently with my finger. This is a really wonderful creamy concealer. It goes on very easily. Now I'm taking just a little bit of the fair beige and I'm going on top of it. And again, I'm just going to press it in. This will help lighten the under eye area. It is a little bit lighter than my foundation. And by patting it in, I'm not disturbing the color corrector underneath it. To help reduce the possibility of the concealer creasing, I'm now going to lightly press in a little of a new setting powder that I'm trying for the first time. It's Maybelline's Lasting Fix Banana Translucent Setting Powder. This Maybelline product is supposed to be brightening and blurring, and it costs $9.99 on the Maybelline site. Here's what the Maybelline powder looks like. Now I'm going to just pat this because I don't want to have any creases before I actually put the powder on. Taking just a tiny little bit of this powder and just pressing it in. And I'm also going to put a little bit in my T-zone area. It definitely is doing some brightening. I really like the way this is looking. Now I need to apply the fair beige concealer on a few other places on my face. And I think actually this concealer is a little bit too light, but we'll make it work. It works well under the eyes as a brightener, but it doesn't quite work as well on the rest of my face. But it blends in enough, so I think it'll be okay. Next, I'm going to quickly apply my Wet n Wild contour stick in Wear's Walnut and my Rare Beauty Stay Vulnerable cream blush in Nearly Neutral. And go underneath my jawline, a little bit on here. I actually wouldn't apply most contour sticks this way, but this one is so creamy that it really does work. I'm bringing it up as I blend. And get the forehead area and underneath the jawline. If it looks odd how I'm holding this brush, it's because I'm trying to keep my arm away from my lapel microphone so I don't have these awful scraping noises that you occasionally hear if I forget to do that. Then I'm taking my foundation brush and I'm just going around the edges so I don't have any harsh lines at all, both for the jaw area as well as the cheek area. As you can see, that really makes a difference. And this is my Rare Beauty Cream Blush, which I absolutely love. Just going to start at the outer part using a stippling brush. The reason a stippling brush works so well is it doesn't really disturb the foundation underneath. And I just want a slight flush and put a little bit up here and then on the other side. And by bringing it up here, it really kind of brings the colors together. It really makes the face look a little bit more cohesive. I love this color because it gives just the slightest flush. It's the one called Nearly Neutral. This next product, which is highlighter, is another product that I was really excited to try since it's from one of my favorite clean beauty brands, Ilia. It's their Daylight Highlighting Powder. Now, I've only swatched this product so far on my fingers, and I haven't actually applied it to my cheekbone area, so I'm really interested to see how it ends up looking when it's applied to the cheek area. It's talc-free, and it's very finely milled, and has a really buttery, soft texture. The product information says that it's possible to create a soft, subtle shimmer or a more dramatic look. And they're two different colors, a soft gold color called Decades and a deep rose gold color called Starstruck. I have Starstruck, which may be too dark for me. We'll have to see how it looks. Here's a swatch of it first. It definitely has a gold tint to it, which is not normally what I wear, so we'll see how this looks. Just going to use a highlighter brush and put a little bit here. It is definitely a gold color. I love the color on its own. I don't know if it's right for my coloring though. And put a little bit here. Next comes lips. I'm going to quickly apply some Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer around the outer edge of my lips to keep my lipstick from feathering, and then my L'Oreal Age Perfect Lip Liner, which also helps. The lipstick is another product that I've been looking forward to trying from Ilia. It's their Color Block lipstick in the shade Knockout, which is a magenta with cool undertones. As you can see, it's pretty bright. The concealer also covers the outline of my lips, which helps me fudge a little bit to make my lip line a little bit bigger. That is definitely a brighter color than I'm used to wearing. Ilia's lipsticks are vegan, and according to the description on the website, they're crafted by hand and milled with customized pigments in organic castor seed oil to offer 4 times more pigment than any other previous Ilia lipstick has created. These lipsticks cost $28 each, and they're supposed to be hydrating and long-lasting. It definitely feels hydrating on my lips, and it does come in many more beautiful colors. And of course, I always love a little lip gloss on top of my lipstick, so I'm going to lighten and brighten the lipstick color a bit with this Sephora Glossed Lip Gloss in the shade Wild. Here's what this lip gloss looks like. These Sephora glosses are $10 each, and they come in 28 different colors. I'm going to swatch the lipstick color and then the gloss color, and then show you a swatch with the lip gloss applied over the lipstick. So here's the straight lipstick color at the bottom of my hand, and then the lip gloss all by itself is right above it. And then here at the top is the lipstick with the lip gloss applied over it. As you can see, it really lightens and brightens the lip color. So let's go ahead and actually try it on the lips. I definitely like the look of this lipstick with the gloss over it. Now to finish up the look, I'm going to take a damp sponge and just softly go over my entire face to give some added moisture and also make sure everything blends in together well. And my final step will be to use my Hourglass Ambient Light Finishing Powder and Blush from my Hourglass palette. So this is my makeup sponge from Real Techniques, and I'm just going to apply it all over. This feels so good. I love adding this additional moisture at the end of my makeup routine. Just going around all the edges to make sure that there are no harsh lines left. And here's my Hourglass palette, and I'm going to use the finishing powder in the center top and then the two blushes on the bottom right. Just going to go over this entire area with the finishing powder. It just melds everything together and adds just a tiny bit more glow. Put a little bit up here as well, and then a tiny bit of the blush. All right, we have the final look, and let me briefly share my thoughts on each of these products that we tried today. First of all, the Almay eyeshadow. I love the fact that they've color-coded these shadows and offer some beautiful colors that really work well with particular eye colors. I think that's a really clever and ingenious way to package the eyeshadows. But I have to say, I wasn't wild about the all warm colored brown shadows. That's just personal preference, however. It may work beautifully for you. For my brown shadows, I like to have a mix of cool, warm, and neutral tones if I possibly can. They applied fairly well. I wouldn't say it was the easiest application I've ever done of eyeshadow. It takes just a little bit more work, but it does give a nice final look. I really love the Becca Backlight priming filter. I think it did add a really beautiful, subtle glow, and it just seemed to even out my skin tone really nicely. I would definitely use that product again. In fact, because Becca's going out of business, I may just order the large size of that product while I can. And I really can't say enough good things about the Catrice True Skin Hydrating Foundation. It just glided on, it melded into the skin. I think it really has a beautiful skin-like finish, and I was really impressed with the coverage. I think it really had a lovely brightening effect as well, as did the powder. I think the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, and this is the Camo Concealer that's the Hydrating Camo Concealer, which makes a big difference. I thought it went on beautifully. I think the peach did a really good job of color correcting as well. But I think this concealer really compares nicely with higher end concealers. I'm really sold on it, and for $6, it is an amazing value, I think. I'll have to try out a little bit more the Maybelline Lasting Fix Banana Translucent Setting Powder, but my first impression is a really positive one. I think it did brighten that under eye area. It really kept the concealer from creasing, which is really what I wanted it to do. And I think it worked well in the T-zone as well. I'm pretty impressed with this powder. I think the Ilia Daylight Highlighting Powder in Starstruck wasn't quite the right tone for my skin, but I think it is a beautiful product. It is so soft and creamy. It absolutely glides on. And if your skin tone is warmer than mine, or you prefer more of a gold look with your highlighter, these two colors are absolutely gorgeous. There's the lighter color and then this deeper color Starstruck that I used. And I have to say that I'm very impressed with the Ilia lipstick. It's a beautiful satin lipstick. It glides on. It does feel hydrating, and I'm impressed with the amount of pigment. It really has nice color payoff. I would definitely recommend this lipstick as well. And as I mentioned earlier, there's some absolutely gorgeous colors in this lipstick. It's the Color Block lipstick, and this one is in the color Knockout. I think the Sephora Glossed Lip Gloss in the color Wild really did help this lip color. However, I have to say that I'm not terribly wild, excuse the pun here, I'm not terribly wild about this particular gloss. The doe foot applicator does not apply much gloss. You really have to work a bit to get the amount on that you prefer to have on your lips. And I'm not a fan, as I've mentioned earlier, of doe foot applicators for lip gloss. But the color did work out nicely with this lip color, and I'll definitely keep using it with this lip color. I hope you've enjoyed this review of these 8 products and found it helpful. And if so, I'd so appreciate it if you'd give this video a thumbs up. And I'd love to hear in the comments section below if any of these products piqued your interest, or if you've perhaps tried any of these products, what your thoughts are on them. I hope to see you again next week, and until then, I hope you stay happy and healthy and have a fabulous rest of your day. Take care.